Well, I had only been in real estate for 4 months. 4 months, okay? And I felt stuck. I did. I'm like, I don't know where to find leads. I don't have money to invest in leads. Mind you, I'm just starting. So I was like, okay, free leads. Let's just like look on the MLS and see what's for sale. Is there anything that's been on there for quite a while? And I came across this amazing property in Gardner, Maine. It's 1 Lincoln Ave in Gardner, Maine. Anyone can look it up right now. And it's just a gorgeous property. It looks like a little castle. It had been on the MLS for 142 days. I picked up the phone, all nervous. And I'm like, hello? And she's like, I got your LOI. I go, you did? What'd you think? Because you guys, I pitched 30 years, a 30-year. They hold the note for 30 years at 0% interest. I did not think they were going to accept it. So anyways, I said, how does it look? And she goes, it looks great, but you spelt my name wrong. And I'm like, that's it? And she's like, yeah, you just spelt my name wrong, but we love it. And I'm like, I about died.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Ashley Gagne, and she is in creative real estate. We're going to talk about just the different ways you can get creative in your investing. So thank you for being here, Ashley.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
So how did you fall in love with real estate in the beginning?
I never pictured myself even being in real estate, to be quite honest. I was a furniture artist prior to this. AG Designs was my business name. And I have a lot of followers in that field. So taught women how to paint. And I was like, I need more of a career, I guess. The Facebook stars are not paying it, So I ended up just, I knew I didn't want to be an agent. Nothing to the agents out there, but I just knew I didn't want to be an agent. And I stumbled across Pace Morby's community, and, I just invested in it. But I have to say the real thing that had brought me towards like being interested in that was because I wanted to help women who were either struggling with drug addiction or in abusive relationships and stuff, and kind of gain property and create housing for them.
Wow, that's a wonderful. How did you how did that become a passion in your life?
So I had personally hit a very rough spot in my life, and I've actually wrote a book. I'm trying to get it published. And it was like I had a really bad circle around me, like trying to tear me down. And then I just ended up gaining a bigger circle of great people that, helped me. And just some of the struggles I had went through where it was almost impossible to get out. Like I was doing great, everything. And it's like, there was just some things that were impossible, like housing and trying to get on your feet for the first time after being in a really bad relationship. It was impossible. So I was like, I wish I could just get some housing for people who are in the same spot that I was,
Right.
because it's definitely a touchy subject. I don't want to cry or anything, but I would say keep an eye out for the book. That's my goal, to get it published within the next year.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Well, that sounds amazing. I mean, that's incredible that you've been able to persevere and build such a great business behind you.
Yes.
And you get to help so many people as well. So when did you
Yes.
really get to the investing game? Like, when did it start to feel like, okay, this can actually be my career?
Really, when I joined the community, it was amazing. I immediately started to love it. I've always been creative, hence being an artist before and creating stuff. And I just loved the aspect of the creative side of being an investor. I really fell in love with it right away. I have to say, okay, let me back up a second. I was never great in high school. Like, I'm going to be real with you. Like, A's, I never saw those. B's, I never saw those. C's, probably very rarely. Okay, it just was not my thing. But when I wanted to learn something, it was all over. So as soon as I started real estate investing, I retained the knowledge. I just started picking it up fast, and I wanted to listen to books, on audio, and I wanted to learn more, and I wanted to talk to people. So I think when you have the passion and you're liking something, you're going to learn it more. So I excelled pretty fast in it. I became a leader before I even hit 2 years in the community. So I'm a leader in New England for Maine and New Hampshire. And yeah, so now I'm guiding other students and getting them going, JVing. It's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. So you really found this passion right away.
I did.
And you're right where, you had such a creative background. It's very obvious how you kind of took this approach in the real estate world. When did you start kind of playing with, I guess it comes with experience, but when did you kind of play with these different creative opportunities?
Well, that's really what they teach in the group with Pace Morby. It's all about creative finance and all these different, taking a deal and finding a way to make it work, to give maybe the seller what they want, meet them where they want, but how can we get there creatively? So it's more than just giving a cash offer. Cash doesn't always work. Cash is king. Cash is king. That's where we always want to aim first. It's a quicker close, everything. But if it's not going to work, then we try to just get creative and figure out, okay, how can we make this work? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
Did
did I answer that question?
I would love to hear about a time where this really worked out for you, where you're able to do a deal that you're really proud of.
Okay. I have one. So I had only been in real estate for 4 months. 4 months, okay? And I felt stuck. I did. I'm like, I don't know where to find leads. I don't have money to invest in leads. Mind you, I'm just starting. So I was like, okay, free leads. Let's just look on the MLS and see what's for sale. Is there anything that's been on there for quite a while? And I came across this amazing property in Gardner, Maine. It's 1 Lincoln Ave in Gardner, Maine. So anyone can look it up right now. And it's just a gorgeous property. It looks like a little castle. It had been on the MLS for 142 days.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Some of y'all might have heard this story because it's already been on the Get Creative podcast. It got labeled the best deal of the year in New England last year. Mind you, I'm a very new student. And I said, the only way I can ever make this work is by taking action. Okay. I don't care if I don't know everything. You're never going to know everything. Like, I'm still learning every day. So I picked up the phone and pitched creative finance to the best I could to the agent. And the agent said, Well, that sounds very interesting. Let me check with the sellers, which I didn't expect a call back. I truly didn't. But as you know, it's my favorite story. So you guys know she did call me back. And she said they're interested in hearing a little bit more about what you have to offer. So I ended up doing an LOI, which, if some of you don't know what that is, it's a letter of intent for an offer. And the rest was history, really. I got it locked up we didn't have to go up on the price. They had it, I messed up on the LOI, the original one. It was listed for 965. And I put 975 on the LOI. And okay, the funny part. Here comes the funny part. So when I submitted the LOI to the seller, because I had already been communicating with the seller, she called me back after I sent the LOI and I didn't answer the phone because I was too scared. I didn't answer. I just let it ring. And then she called back again, like a half hour later. And I picked up the phone, all nervous. And I'm like, hello. And she's like, I got your LOI. I go, you did? What'd you think? Because you guys, I pitched 30 years, a 30-year, they hold the note for 30 years at 0% interest. And I did not think they were going to accept it. So anyways, I said, how does it look? And she goes, it looks great, but you spelt my name wrong. And I'm like, that's it? And she's like, yeah, you just spelled my name wrong, but we love it. And I'm like, I about died,
Yeah.
so it was really great. We kind of structured it like a Morby method. They did want a significant amount down because they wanted to pay off the current mortgage. They didn't want to do a subject to. So whoever was bringing down that money, they were going to get the rest, which was like over 600,000 for 30 years at 0% interest. And I also structured it with a year with no payments. So it turned out great. I got a $30,000 assignment on it, and I assigned it to one of my good friends, Kristen Knapp, which a lot of people probably know. Case Morby came up to it. It was a good time. It was a really good time. That was my biggest deal last year. And when I say biggest, I think it was the best terms, most recognized. I had other deals that I made a little bit more on, but it was definitely a good time.
That's amazing. And what did that do for your confidence? You were talking about how you were so scared you couldn't even answer the phone. Like, how did that help you gain a little bit more confidence?
It just shows you that you can do it with barely any knowledge, right? I literally just picked up the phone and pitched creative finance to the best I could to an agent, which I wish we had that recording. I do. It was not recorded because it was such a spur of the moment thing. But I can tell you that the agent still calls me with deals. We still talk. I still talk to the sellers. That's one thing I really pride myself on, is keeping the relationships. I love networking and just making like long-term relationships with people.
Yeah, I know that building rapport with your sellers is like a big strength of yours. What are some tips you have for
Yes.
people to kind of make those relationships stronger?
So, I mean, I could tell you the basic things, like when you pick up the phone and talk to a seller, mirror them. If you're talking to a timid old lady, don't be like, hey, how you doing? And like scare them away. But if you got like a nice outgoing person, mirror that. I do the mirroring, but I think the biggest thing is I'm actually passionate and genuine about it. I actually care. So I think that comes off in my voice. And
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
and how I approach. For a while, my business partner, who, the CEO of Oak Hill Acquisitions, he was like trying to make me go by a script, and we role played almost every day. And he's like, you're not using the script. I'm like, I'm not going to use this script. Every conversation is unique. I cannot go by a script. So finally I got him on board by that. So like now he'll tell you scripts are crap.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. I feel like so much of this business really is just being a trustworthy person, because building trust is
Yes,
everything.
absolutely.
And can you talk about maybe a time as you've been starting out where things didn't really go as planned and how you learned from that?
Yeah. So consistency is one of the things that I know I need to work on. And I would say just knowing, trying to figure out like how to, what's the best way to say this, because when it really started working out for me is when I started, working with PPL and Pay Pro Lead and getting affiliated with ISB to Lead, which is the company that I'm a brand ambassador for. So I would say prior to that, things were slow. You really just got to take action. That's the main thing. If you just take action, get your reps in, that's the only thing that's going to make you stronger, better, and just more knowledgeable, I guess.
Yeah, and every deal is so different, so getting those reps is really important.
Absolutely, 100%.
I would love for you to talk about just kind of what you're seeing in the market right now and the opportunities you see, maybe because I know there's a lot of information being thrown around and a lot of people are scared to get in the market.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually just talking to one of my really good friends today. He's an agent in Maine, and we call those agents that like to work with investors unicorns. And, he was even just saying, he's like, it's crazy because the agents out there that aren't turning to a bit of creative and wanting to pair up with the investors, they're not winning right now because the interest rates are so high. So people are maybe don't want to list their house because the interest rate they have the mindset people aren't going to buy because the interest rates are so high. So we'll wait till the interest rates drop a little bit. So and I'm sure that has to do a lot with how they price their house. So I think the main thing is the interest rate everyone's scared of. And I mean, if you go out and you buy a $500,000 house and put it on a 30 or go conventional with it with a bank and everything, you're looking to pay almost 1,000,000 or maybe even over by the time your loan is paid off. That is scary. And that's why I love creatives so much because we can get into those, nice low interest loans by taking them over subject to, or even a seller finance. You got a paid off property and you take that over seller finance and structure some great terms like I did with the mini castle in Gardner, Maine, and then it doesn't have to be so scary. And I think that's what I like talking to the sellers about too, because when they're talking about selling their property and they're like, yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get into anything because of the interest rate. I like to possibly have them as a buyer for one of my properties that I come across, right? Because we're always looking for buyers. So, you know, expressing to them, hey, we come across deals like this all the time. We could get you into one at a lower interest rate by taking it over subject to, or, seller finance. You would wrap it, but I don't explain that. That would be too, you know, a little bit too intricate
Yeah.
for the seller to understand. You get it. Yeah.
Huh.
So,
Yeah, and I think they with interest rates, I think the thing people don't think about is once they lower the competition is going to be crazy. Everybody's going to want to buy stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I personally don't think they're gonna go low.
Yeah.
I don't. I think they're probably if they drop, it might go to like 6.25.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the average right now, or 6.5 is the average. So
Mhm.
like it's not gonna drop significantly, or they might go like, I don't even think it would go to 5.5. I don't.
Yeah, and I
It maybe I could be wrong.
no, I mean I agree with you. I think a lot of people think that they're going to plummet, but I don't. It might be a little bit more gradual than that.
Yeah. No, I talked to a seller in Florida, and he was the way we were structuring a deal, and he was like, yes, in 2 years, I don't remember the amount of time he said. He's like, they're gonna go back down to maybe even 1%. And I'm like, what are you never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. But I'm like, what are you thinking,
Yeah.
seller? Like, no, they won't.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good to know that like there is optimism in the market right now, and you don't have to wait. And there are ways to be creative if you really want to get in the market, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. You can.
And to kind of wrap this up, what is a piece of advice that you wish you learned earlier in your career that you could share with us?
So remember when I said taking action, even if you don't have the knowledge?
Yeah,
That was one thing that did hold me back because I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what if they ask me something I can't
right.
answer?" And you can simply tell a seller, "I don't handle that part," or just let me double check with my business partner and, make sure I have the right answer before I give it to you. You can always tell them you don't know. Be honest. That's building rapport. That's being authentic. That's being yourself. And that's what really attracts sellers to you. It really does. I have a lot of great reviews. I love building relationships, like I said. So I wish I really could have sunk that into my own head when I first started, because I feel like that held me back months that it shouldn't have. So getting those reps in, even if you don't know what you're doing, you have to.
Right.
You're going to mess up, and that's okay. It really is.
Yeah, because if you don't even try, the answer is already no. You already know that you're not going to get the deal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's great advice for people and good inspiration. So, where can people find you?
So, you could find me on Instagram. It's a very small Instagram page because my kids like to call me a dinosaur. I more so use Facebook, but I'm trying to build up my Instagram. So if y'all want to go on Instagram, it's Ashley Gagne 33.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Ashley.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. And we will see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.